Nationalism. What is the first word that comes to your mind when you think of nationalism? Just think for 2 seconds. Before I start my speech, I have 2 quotes that show the difference in what people believe is nationalism. The first one is from a English poet that says, "No two men are equal, no two men are the same. However, no man is entitled to more than the next." On the other hand, I have one from Sidney J. Harris that said the difference between patriotism and nationalism is that the patriot is proud of his country for what it does, and the nationalist is proud of his country no matter what it does. The first attitude creates a feeling of responsibility, but the second a feeling of blind arrogance that leads to war. Now, the reason I decided to research and study nationalism is because I feel like it's a very prominent thing no matter where you are in the world right now, and it's a very important thing that everyone should know about, or at least educate yourself on what nationalism is. It can mean different things for each person, and the goal is not to believe in it, but to understand it and what it means for different countries. Everyone has a different story, a different culture, and a different religion upbringing. No 2 humans are the same, but yet we all share the same traditions and same cultures that help us bond us together. Nationalism is used to preserve and to promote a nation's heritage and culture. Now, for my first point, I got one from an interview about women's culture from a different country. She is actually a Xhosa woman, and she was just talking about having a connection with your culture and heritage will show you where you came from and how your ancestors lived. And she said, "I am proudly South African. I am a Xhosa woman. I speak my language with pride." Now, I know it's a really short quote, but to me, that just shows how proud she is of who she is. And I know that there were a lot of different obstacles they go through in their life. A lot of it, they will face discrimination one way or another, no matter what or who they come across, they're going to face it in their life. So I think that even though the quote's small, it really says a lot about nationalism because she's very proud of who she is. And I think that's really good. That's really pretty. And a little bit of background for nationalism is it actually grew in the 19th century as a result of the Enlightenment era. It gave people voices that didn't previously have voices, that were previously excluded from a lot of the stuff that was happening in the country with equality and freedom, and it brought us to a world, nationalism did, where we didn't have to exclude people who are different from us. It brought us together in a lot of different ways, actually, and it taught us how to give everyone equal and fair rights and opportunities, and I know we are still working on that as a whole. But nationalism is basically started a really long time ago. Well, not a really long time ago, but depending on how you look at it, some people might think that nationalism is actually a bad thing. Many people don't realize that for different cultures, it is actually a positive thing. And it actually aids and emphasizes the importance of industrialization. And that's what made America America. Everyone knows industrialization. Without it, we wouldn't have become such a successful nation. And I have a quote from Daily News that says most 18th century Americans lived in self-sustaining rural communities. The Industrial Revolution witnessed the evolution of large urban centers such as Boston, New York City, and spurred a mass internal migration of workers. So nationalism was able to aid a lot of different cultures into doing a lot of different jobs. And once this era started, the culture changed and brought us into the world that we are today through industrialization. And it was happening in the same time as the rise of nationalism, so it was very hand in hand. Nationalistic feelings, along with the new industrial inventions such as better guns and better transportation, would encourage European countries to control other areas of the world. So with the expansion and creation of goods through mass production, the cost of things went down, while the time for making them went down as well. As countries start to realize how the new era would change how the world works, some left behind while others took the change and made empires for themselves. So basically, nationalism it helped shape the country in a lot of different ways. I feel like a lot of people don't realize how much it affected like the Industrial Revolution, which is something that everyone knows about, and just everything in the world. There's a lot of other reasons that nationalism can grow over time. So, for example, pride of one's country increases when they have national success or national tragedy. So, saying basically that when Pearl Harbor occurred and 9/11, the days and weeks that followed that were very hard, but a lot of people showed their nationalism and their pride in their country and were able to get through it together as a country. And I have a quote that says, "The September 11 attacks of 2011 left to a wave of nationalist expression in the United States." Sorry. This was accompanied by a rise in military enlistment that included not only lower-income Americans, but also middle and upper-class citizens. So, even though there was a lot of national tragedies, a lot of people were able to get together as one nation and be able to say that they're proud of their nation and they're proud of everything that they're doing, and they just want to help the nation as a whole. And it says, I got a quote actually that says the definition of what feeling nationalism is, and it says nationalism is a feeling of unity with a group beyond one's immediate family and friends. In and of itself, it is not conducive to disastrous wars. When most think of nationalism, they think of it as a group of people or a country that is concerned and in and of itself and not having concerns for those around them. However, the underlying meaning behind nationalism is to form a group of people who share the same feelings and beliefs for a country or place that they form into their own family. That was a really long quote, but basically it's just saying that some people view nationalism as a bad thing, some people view nationalism as a good thing, but either way, it is important because that's how we bond with other people, and that's how we bond with everything. So, nationalism is used to preserve and to promote a nation's heritage and culture. It aids and emphasizes the importance of industrialization, and it increases when they have national success or tragedy. No matter your background, everyone has a purpose in life and has goals and things that they strive for despite certain differences.